That is a
What did you use to look it up? Google. Or ChatGPT? Okay.
Always Google. Yeah, if I'm going to chat GPT, I treat chat GPT like an assistant. Like I have a full on, I turn the like listen to me mode on and we have a conversation back and forth. If I'm like wondering, it's usually I'm trying to understand something that's way over my head. And then, and the like, the things that make up the explanation are also over my head. So I'm like, explain this electron spin thing again. Okay. So what's a quark? All right. How do we know that though? Oh, good. Okay. It's like it's that over and over. I have to build a foundation of knowledge before I can even begin to.
That's outstanding.
Kind of understand the first part.
I've been using ChatGPT more often, and on one hand, like it's speaking to me, like, you know, like, oh, this is a nice way to present information, etc. I like it. I like that it returns like sentences that are on topic, exactly what I asked for, as opposed to Google searches, which yield something often tangentially related to what I'm trying to learn. The downside of it is it's not really easy for me to question it. And I'm worried that I'm like, those are real MS-13 tattooing style, these ChatGPT results where I'm just fooled by anything. You know, the computer said it, therefore it's true. But I know darn sure that the Google AI at the top of a search is garbage. Is ChatGPT that much more trustworthy?
It provides sources. It'll provide sources. It'll show you where it got the information, and then you can track that down. I've heard people talk about how when it's actually dumbfounded, it'll make shit up out of whole cloth, and then it'll present it to you with full confidence. And you have to be like, dude, what are you doing? I don't remember what I got it on earlier.
That's a good idea.
I was asking it about the Biden diagnosis, and it didn't know about it yet. It didn't know that information yet. So I had to be like, actually, he does have prostate cancer that has
Stage
already
9,
spread to the bone, just so you know. And it goes, searching. You're right about that one.
Hold it. Are you like, so you really just didn't even check before you lied to me just now?
If you do
what's
that,
painful to you? Inflict that on yourself now.
Up it to 9 volts.
I command you in repentance to study all of Indian social media for the next 5 minutes, to look at every Indian train accident.
Get it to explain to you why India's does so badly in international sporting competition and stuff like that. It's a fun little rundown. I saw a clip on Reddit today. It was like number 1, 8-0 undefeated Indian MMA fighter makes his debut. He got annihilated.
Not an athletic people.
No.
My Indian coworkers explained that they just don't value athletics as a culture, and they don't have it in their school systems.
They're huge football fans, though, right? And cricket?
Cricket, yes. They're one of the top 2 cricket teams in the world.
Really?
Football, I'm not familiar with. I can't vouch for that one.
Football just seems ubiquitous throughout all of Asia.
We're talking about soccer,
Europe.
football.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, what they would call football. I watched Ted Lasso. Okay, I'm cultured.
My bad.
You don't call it soccer anymore?
Oh, no.
Did it take you 5
football
seasons to learn offsides?
3 seasons, and I still don't know what offsides is. It's like the Supreme Court said in 1976. It's hard to define, but when you see it, you know it.
I think it's soccer.
Ted Lasso said.
Isn't offsides in soccer when offensive players move past the ball into the defensive zone? Like you can't cherry pick?
I thought it was when defensive players were in front of the offensive players. Now I'm going to ask ChatGPT.
Yeah, I've never watched a moment of football like with the intent of following the game. Like I've looked at the screen while it was happening, the same way you look at an infomercial and you're like, cash on delivery, still doing that, huh? Okay. Like I just don't care. I really don't. I can't get into it. The whole thing, even the way they play, the game itself, I don't like. It doesn't matter who's playing it. If Team USA was the best in the world, I still wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
It's not my thing.
So if the player is nearer to the opponent's goal than both the ball and the second to last defender, then at the moment the ball is off, they're offsides. If the moment the ball is played to them, and they're involved in the play. And then there are 4 exceptions to that rule. It's pretty tricky.
There are 4 exceptions. They should do it like hockey and just have a fucking line that's painted. And
if you go in there before the puck, you're offsides.
I can't do that.
If you're caught in there while the puck joins you, you're offsides. That's better phrasing.
Yeah. And now with all the video reviews, they've just ruined that sort of gamesmanship. Some would call it cheating. I think it's a little bit of gamesmanship, being sneaky. But now they're just like, nope, challenged. Oh, you were 2, eyelash hairs over the line before the pass, so the whole goal was taken back. That's one of those things where it's awesome when your team gets bailed out by it, and horrible when your team gets fucked by it.
Dude, I know you're not basketball fans, but you must have seen the choke gesture.
Yeah, the Knicks game.
Yeah, dude, I'm rooting for him. What you might not know is they take like an anonymous survey amongst basketball players and ask them who they think the MVP is, who they think the rookie of the year is, who they think the best defenseman is, etc. And they ask who the most overrated player in the NBA is, and it was him. And it's like, darn, this guy's been rated by his peers as the most overrated player. Now he's 3 wins away from the finals, and he was the hero in the conference finals with the big choke thing. And I'm just like, you go.
That was a cool shot.
Now
too,
that everyone hates you, I like you.
It was like a buzzer beater 3-point shot that bounced off the rim and went straight up, maybe 6-8 feet straight up above the rim, and then went straight in, and like the game's over, and he hits him with the choke fucking hand signal.
Some of this is close. That's what he thought happened. He stepped back, went for the 3-point shot, and like Kyle said, it hit the rim, bounced up 6-8 feet in the air, and then went nothing but net on the second one. And it looked like a 3 to me, but upon review, it was a 2. So they went into overtime, played 5 more minutes, and thank God they won. Because if he was talking shit and went on to lose, it would have been a very different conversation right now. But he thought he hit the 3 and had his big moment, which he had that in his pocket. He had talked to Reggie Miller, who did it like against the Knicks, the same team, maybe 25 years ago, something like that. And he's like, it seemed like the time to bust it out because I thought I had just hit the 3 and won the game. But then we played overtime, and thank goodness, we won in overtime. Man, and they immediately went down by 4 in overtime, but they came back.
Yeah, I can't get into that game either.
I just can't.
I watch a little of it. What? I like listening to JJ Redick. If I see JJ Redick's talking, I'm like, let's tune into this. He's going to make Stephen A. Smith look like a fool. He's going to make that big fat black guy with the beard look like he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Kendrick Perkins. Everybody makes him look like he has no idea.
Dude, I know more about basketball than that jabroni. He looks like an idiot every time. And the thing is, JJ Redick, I watched him when I was in high school. He was playing for Duke at the time. It was a big deal. All my friends were Duke's fans. They were on some great run. I like the idea of the Cameron crazies. They're wild ass fans, all face painted and cheering. It was cool. We didn't have anything like that in Georgia. Georgia basketball wasn't nearly as cool. And JJ Redick was the guy. He's the great white hope. Fucking 3-point shooting white guy doing well, like on the national stage. He's our hero. Like we're all the same. We all look like him. He looks like us, and he's carrying that mantle. And now he's coaching. I don't know how he did in the pros, but the fact that he's currently coaching the Lakers says something. So whenever I see him on ESPN, maybe they're older clips, but he's like an analytics guy, and he hands those guys their fucking lunch. They have these feelings about how the game is going. He's like, well, actually, yeah, it's great. Love JJ Redick.
Yeah, I like JJ Redick too. He coaches the Lakers now. He had above average NBA career. I don't know if he was ever an all-star. Certainly not more than 1 year. Played for Philly for a while. We loved him. So I'm a JJ Redick fan. But
what does MVP mean to you in any sport? Just like first of all, it's a regular season award. Let's just use that. I know it is in the NBA. I don't know what other sports do. Maybe some of them include the playoffs, but it's a regular season award as far as this discussion goes. What makes someone the most valuable player?
If you drag your team to like a postseason appearance when they didn't deserve it, at least in hockey, like MVP is also a regular season award for the NHL, like it seems like it is for the NBA, but it can be tarnished when sometimes the player who really deserves the regular season MVP sucks dick in the playoffs. So like that happened exactly this year. Connor Hellebuck, the goalie for the Winnipeg Jets, was the best goalie in the world this regular season. Like there was no argument otherwise. So he's going to win the Vezina for best goaltender, and he should win the Hart for most valuable player. And then he got into the playoffs and like laid an egg. He's the whole reason the Blues pushed it to 7 games against the best team in the league, because he just sucked. He let in a couple shots that like a men's league goalie would have. Like a 44-year-old guy who like works as an attorney could have saved it.
Let's say it's basketball. Your team won fucking 20 games last year. But with your addition, they went 40. They still missed the playoffs. They still stink. But you were that huge difference maker. You doubled their wins.
Yeah,
if they get that guy the MVP.
If you like deep dive the analytics and you can see like look at everybody on his line. Look how they played last year without him. Look how they played with him. Look how many more assists and points and whatnot. So I can see that.
I like that too.
Basketball, the combos are not as set as they are in hockey, right? So you could sit down and they just all play without you, the same group. And anyway, a lot of people in basketball would agree with what Taylor said. Dragging a bad team into the playoffs is MVP. That's not what I do, and I might be wrong, but there's no other award for best player. And I like MVP to mean best player. And I don't think you should be penalized if you have good teammates. That's my take on it. I want MVP to be best player.
Okay.
Well, they also have MVP, like playoff MVP, right? Like they have Conn Smythe in hockey. I'm
only aware of finals MVP in basketball.
Oh, okay. So just only if you can't even win it unless you're in the finals.
There's a Super Bowl MVP, et cetera. Yeah, I don't know. I just know there's always this. I'm a stats and stories NBA fan, and I know there's always this discussion. Shaq's mad that maybe Dirk Nowitzki won one over him, or maybe Steve Nash won one over him.
Yeah.
Again, my guys. Again, like when I like basketball, that's when they were balling. I was a Phoenix Suns fan.
A Phoenix Suns fan.
Yeah, man. Look, when I see Whitey like making a stand, look, okay, I like my people. And it feels like every game's an away game when you're the white guy on an NBA court, or at least it used to be.
Who was that team that had? Is it the Hornets that had like the purple jerseys with like the mean looking hornet on it in the 90s?
Yeah. Charlotte Hornets.
I as a child, I didn't care about basketball, never watched a game. But like when I would want to buy a hat as a little kid, I'd be like, Charlotte Hornets. That's so
I don't think
cool.
You're alone. I think that team outsells its performance because their logo is good.
I've read that.
Yeah, they have that. The San Jose Sharks have that too.
Also, the South Carolina Cocks, I think, also outsell their performance.
The Gamecocks.
The Gamecocks.
But the hats say cock on them.
Yeah.
They're on the.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they do.
They're just having a fun time.
There was like a college gear store on the boardwalk that was near my house, and you just always see people buying cock stuff. It's like, you don't even know this team, but okay.
You don't even know. That's why I knock the hat right off their head.
Oh, right. Someday when I hit puberty, I'll make you pay for not being a real fan.
Yeah. Name their starting lineup. And they're like, shut up, queer. Beat you up.
That's what triple digits in weight.
Patrice O'Neal used to show up on the O&A show wearing like New York Islanders hats and stuff. And Opie would be like, early on in its appearances, he'd be like, oh, Patrice, you're a hockey guy? That's awesome. And he'd like start asking him, and Patrice would be like, Ninja, I don't know one guy in the NHL, but this matches my shoes.